god. No, that's... Damn.
Joe Rogan, the podcast king, guests an incredibly vast range of guests on his podcast. That means a lot of opinions and a whole lot of different personalities. Some may be crazy, some may be insightful, and well, others can make Rogan pretty angry. Let's see moments where guests steered Rogan the wrong way. We're also doing a shout out giveaway, guys, to a random commenter on this video. If you'd like to receive a shout out on one of our next videos, simply leave a comment down below and you might be picked. Starting your video...
Fucking social media tilts left, so...
Yes, social media does. We're not talking about pulling up social media pages.
What are you pulling up?
I don't know.
Washington Post?
I'm not a Trump scholar. I don't have at my disposal all the different times that he lied, but it's a lot. But the video...
For this next clip, we have Joe Rogan actually having a whole load of fun. He and his guest is absolutely having the time of their life on the podcast, and they just seem to simply look at each other and then all of a sudden they're having the biggest laugh. The uncontrollable kind. And it happened on more than one occasion.
Oh my god. No, that's...
Next up, we have Joe Rogan with Josh Zepps as a guest on his podcast. They were talking about the issue of abortion and, well, they didn't agree with each other when it came to some of their thoughts about it. They kept going back and forth trying to justify their respective views on it, and this whole argument went on for a good 20 minutes, which is pretty insane. It was one hell of a topic, that's for sure.
In rural Alabama, I don't necessarily think it's a racial issue as much as a poverty issue.
Yeah,
especially like things like Planned Parenthood and shutting down Planned Parenthoods. They're just going to affect people that don't have much money.
Yep, who are disproportionately people of color as well.
Disproportionately in terms of the actual numbers of human beings, or percentage-wise?
In terms of percentage-wise,
right? But the actual numbers of human beings, it's not.
Right, but you can understand how it would look bad if
well,
you're
I just
a
think
black
that
woman.
when you add people of color to that, it accentuates the issue and makes it even more problematic. It makes it more of a big left-wing progressive issue, right? That can't be argued against.
Do you think the optics
discrimination against people of color? Oh, don't want to do that. It's people.
Yeah.
It's human.
We have Joe Rogan with Bench Bureau yet again on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he was talking about Fallon Fox, who was a transgender who competed in MMA. He said that it was wrong of Fox to compete in female MMA when she was biologically a man. He also made note of some of the things said about the whole situation and then came out with a really funny statement.
Arguments, but so many people were calling me a bigot because of this Fallon Fox thing. It was stunning because it was so confusing to me. I'm like, I'm talking about defending a biological woman. Like these biological women, at least two of them got beaten out of them by Fallon Fox before they found out that she used to be a man. I'm like, that's not an issue to these people. And so this one woman said, she's always been a woman. And I said, okay, she gave birth, she impregnated a woman and got her pregnant. I go, what about then? She goes, even then.
Yeah, well,
so even to make people worried about the environment and put money into it. Rogan was shocked by her thoughts on it and explained how she was wrong.
Really complicated subject.
Right.
And if you would have to talk to a bunch of different scientists and see how they gather data and see what they understand about CO2 levels and what's the danger of them and what can combat it and what could not. Have you done all this, or do you take this flippant opinion based on the party line?
This wouldn't be the hill I died on, right? But it's not about the party. I just genuinely, I've read a ton about it, but I would not be able to come to you and say, like, this is my strong opinion. But here's like the easiest way to say this, right?
Okay.
The fact that there is a disparity in the science community about whether or not it's real is enough to...
It's very little.
Yep.
Very little disparity.
But
Most scientists, the vast majority, agree that human beings are negatively affected